are making a Korean staple, kimchi fried rice. So kimchi fried rice is a simple yet delicious Korean dish that highlights the rich and flavorful taste of kimchi. This recipe that I will be sharing with you guys today is very easy to make, and is perfect for satisfying your late night cravings from all your K-pop, K-drama, and even mukbang binging hours. So moving on to the preparation of the ingredients. The first thing we gotta do is chop up 1 stalk of scallion. So now, after removing the top and the bottom part of the scallion, I will then slice the stalk into small horizontal pieces. So for this dish, scallions are actually very important because it helps in adding flavor to the rice. This ingredient also helps in adding a pop of color to the final dish. So for this, you are open to increase or decrease the amount of the scallions that you want to place. You can also reserve a small portion of the greener part to use later for garnishing. After that, I will now be mincing up some garlic. In this recipe, I'm only using 1 clove of garlic since my parents aren't too fond of it. However, if it is to your preference, you may add another clove in order to strengthen the garlic flavor. It is actually important to really mince this ingredient properly so that you do not bite into random chunks later on. This also helps so that it may cook more evenly. Next, we gotta dice up 1/4 of an onion. The onion helps in enhancing the flavor of the dish. So first, I'm gonna chop this up in half. So then, I will remove the skin from the onion. So here, I'm actually using 1/2 of this onion because it is actually really small in comparison to the regular sized one. So just like the previous ingredients, you are free to add a little bit more of this, and remove a bit if you aren't too fond of it. However, it is important for you guys to remember that you must not completely omit this ingredient from the dish, because it is actually one of the key factors in creating flavor for the dish. So I just want to share this random fact about me. When I chop onions, I have the tendency to cry really easily. So when I searched up different tips on how to prevent these, many of them didn't really help at all. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, feel free to share them. So after that, I will now be chopping up some kimchi. It is the key ingredient that brings together the whole dish. In this recipe, I will be needing about 1/2 cup of chopped kimchi. Here, I am chopping it up into about 1 inch in width. However, if you want to make it a bit thicker, you are free to do so. I advise you guys not to cut it too small because having bigger cuts actually helps in adding and maintaining the crunch of the kimchi. So for this ingredient, it is important to use kimchi that has been fermenting for a long period of time. This is because it has a deeper and richer flavor in comparison to freshly made kimchi. We will now start cooking up our kimchi fried rice. So first, we gotta start up the fire, and I'm adjusting its heat to the medium setting. Here, I have a big pan that has a bit of depth to it, because using a pan like this or a wok will allow you to really mix up the ingredients more easily. So firstly, I will be adding 2 tablespoons of oil to the pan. You have to remember that you must allow it to heat it up before adding the next ingredient. So the first ingredient that we'll add is the chopped up bacon. Here, I used around 4 strips of bacon and chopped it up to about 1/2 inch in width beforehand. So for this step, you are actually free to use up any meat of your choice, whether it be spam, ham, thinly sliced pork belly, or even canned tuna. Just remember to use around the same amount required, and to season your meat if you choose the uncooked ones, like the pork belly. The next step is adding 1/4 cup of onion. So here you can notice that the onion is actually cooking up in the rendered fat from the bacon. So after that, we add in 1 clove of minced garlic and the chopped up scallions. So here I'm tossing around the ingredients in order for them to really mix their flavors, and of course cook more evenly. I will be adding in the 1/2 cup of kimchi. So after tossing it up around a bit, we will now be adding 3 tablespoons of kimchi juice. So adding the kimchi juice really helps in intensifying the flavors because this liquid has all the strong flavoring from when it was fermenting. So next up, I added 1 tablespoon of gochujang, which is Korean red pepper paste. So I added it to bring up a bit of spice level to the dish and to add in a bit of saltiness and sweetness. I added 1 tablespoon of soy sauce just to add a bit of flavor. So after that, I will just mix these up and allow them to cook for around 2 to 3 minutes. And you guys must remember to toss it up every once in a while just to prevent it from burning in the sides. Once the ingredients have properly blended with each other, we must add in 2 cups of rice. So when throwing it in, we just gotta make sure that we break up the rice a bit so that it will be able to blend in evenly with the kimchi mixture. So you just gotta toss it up a bit and make sure that the rice is fully coated and evenly mixed. So here we have to use some cold day-old rice because using freshly cooked rice for fried rice would not cook well and would result in kind of clumpy and a soggy mixture. So here I am just adding a slight dash of sesame oil. For me, this step is really amazing because the rich aroma of the sesame oil really helps in accentuating the kimchi flavors and really brings in the dish together. So now that we have mixed in the ingredients together, I will just allow them to cook up a bit. Remember to toss the dish once in a while to prevent it from burning. So you can do this for around 2 to 3 minutes before finally turning the heat off. So this next step is completely optional, but it is something that I like to do to add a bit of flair to the final dish. So for the garnishing, now I am frying up some eggs to top the fried rice. After letting that heat up a bit, I will now crack up my egg and add it to the pan. So after letting the bottom fry up a bit, I will now cover the pan with a lid, which will allow the steam to cook the top portion of the egg. Once that is done, I will remove the lid from the pan and turn off the heat. And here we have our fried egg. Let us now move on to the plating. As you can see here, I already prepared the kimchi fried rice. I'm gonna slowly transfer the egg using my spatula to avoid the middle from breaking. So moving on here, I have some seaweed lavers. So I'm just gonna get around maybe 2 strips. And here I'll be using some kitchen scissors to cut them up. So what I like to do is I actually like to cut it up in the middle once before cutting it into horizontal strips. After this is the final step of our garnishing, which is topping the dish with some roasted sesame seeds. So I will just sprinkle a little bit of top. And ta-da! We are finally through. Just remember that kimchi fried rice is a very easy dish to make. So this is how we make some kimchi fried rice, fresh from the Cuisina. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share this video with your friends, and comment what you would like to see in our future videos.